Hello everyone and welcome to my Unreal Engine 4 tutorial series on how to make a third-person shooter gun system. Last time we left off doing this part. I have added the handle socket for all the weapons. So as you can see, I can toggle between my idle position to the combat mode, and also I can equip any gun I want. So same way with this Cogbat, I have the socket. Same way with this guy, so I can equip it. Okay, in this episode we will do the shooting part. So how can you shoot your gun or anything? So for that, obviously I need a key binding for the shooting. So I will simply go to my settings. In the project settings, I need to set one input. So I'll go to this input and I will create new action mapping called attack. And I want to use a left alt button because my left mouse button is not working. So left alt, okay. Now as we have created the weapon system key binding, I will go to the character, whatever the character you are using. And if you remembered, we have made this weapon graph. You have one event graph, but we also have a new graph called weapon graph, and we will do all the coding for the weapon system in this new graph. So let's add that attack key binding. So yep, this left mouse button, left alt button is the attack. So for that I need a variable. So a boolean variable called is attacking, and simply when I press, I need to set it to true, and when I release, I need to set it to false. So make some room here. Then what I need to do, I need to call out whatever in my hand, and I need to call out that function. So I will simply get my weapon system, and from that I need to get the in hand weapon, whatever the weapon in my hand. First thing first, I need to check if it's valid, because if it's not valid, then what I will do. So I need to check first if it's valid or not. So let's check for both the part, the released and not released, the pressed. And if it's true, if it's valid, then I want to set a start fire event. So for that I need to code all the firing events. So let's code all the things. So I will simply minimize this and open up my master weapon, so that everything I code in here will go to all the things. Don't worry about the melee weapons if it can't be shoot, because it will work fine. So open up your master weapon. Okay, go to your event graph. So let's make some room here, and I will code everything in here. So let's make a custom event. I will call it start fire, and this start fire will do, it will start firing something. So let's first make a sequence. So what will sequence do? Sequence will execute all the pins sequentially, 1 2 3. So you can add as many types of pins you want, and it will add. And I need a gate, this flow control gate. So I won't gonna show you what is a gate, but the gate is basically a flow control. So whenever it is open, it will flow, but whenever it is closed, it will simply exit the gate. So what I want to do, first I want to open a gate, because if it's not open, then I cannot enter. And make sure the start closed is true, because I want to start the gate closed. So whenever this custom event start fire is pressed, first we want to open this gate and then we want to enter. Okay, and then what, let's create a custom event, second one, and I want to call it a stop fire. And let's just, whenever this stop fire is called, I want to close the gate. So let's first call out these two functions. So in the third person character, grab a node from this in hand and called start fire, the start fire custom event we have created, and the second one is stop fire. And in this tutorial we will do the single shot and then we will simply complete the multi shot. Okay, so what we want to do, what are the conditions should require so that our gun can shoot? First condition is our gun must have current ammo greater than 0, right? So let's break up this weapon structure, and my current ammo, this one, should be greater than 0, because if it's 0 then I can't fire because I don't have any ammo. I will simply select and hit Q. I can't. Okay. So if it's true, pardon, then I want to shoot. To hit branch, and for the true part I want to shoot it. Now what I need to do, I need to draw a line trace from my gun's muzzle to a range of the gun, because every gun has different range, so we don't know what the range is. And also my line trace should be not a visibility channel. As you can see, if I search a line trace by channel, the trace channel is a visibility and a camera, but I think for the weapon it is not good if you use any of this. It works fine, but I think for the weapon it should be a different channel. So let's create a personal channel for a weapon. So go to the settings. In the project settings I will create a new weapon channel. So in the collisions, as you can see, object channels, trace channels, and the presets, I want to create a new trace channel. So click on this new trace channel. Let's name it weapon trace, right? Weapon trace. And the default response should be block everything and hit accept. So we have created a new trace channel, and I will simply close it, save for the. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to line trace by channel. Channel should be your new third channel, the weapon trace channel we have just created. And now we need a starting point and an end point, and I need another one, this actor, to ignore. The reason I am ignoring this actor is because consider like this: if you are shooting the gun and you yourself killing, you are tracing yourself, then it is not the best way. So I will simply ignore whatever the owner is of this gun. So as you can see, we have this interactor. Whenever we interact, we have one interactor. So I will promote this to a variable, and let's call this interactor, because this interactor can be anyone, your AI, because your AI can shoot too. So hit compile, save. Okay, so actors to ignore should be, let's make an array, and the actor should be this guy, interactor. So I want to ignore this guy. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to start a trace from a starting point and an ending point, right? So let's define this starting point and ending point. So for that, I will create a function called start and end point. Hit compile. And now we have the interactor. So I will simply cast to third person character, and from the third person character I will get the follow camera, and from the follow camera I need the world location, from because I want to shoot from my center of the direction. and let's first add a return node, and this return node have two output, a vector type of a start point and a end. So start and one is end point. These two are a vector type of. Hit compile, save, and let's first go in the event graph, and if you grab the start and end point, you can see it will look something like this, but I know this function is always gonna return me something because these are vectors. So let's create just a pure function for this, and start would go here, end would go here. Let's compile and let's just code the start and end point function. So from the follow camera I will get the world location, and the second thing, I need the world rotation, and from the world rotation I will simply get a forward vector. So the starting point would be plus of these two vectors, forward vector and this one, and this should go to the start point. For the ending point, what I need same get the world rotation. So get world location and get the world rotation. This thing basically I will simply control W to duplicate that. I don't need you. Okay. And this target would go to this follow camera because wherever my camera is facing I want to shoot it. And for this second one, the ending point, I need to multiply this guy with a range. So let's multiply this vector with a range. So for that I need some range. So let's promote this guy to a variable and I'm call it range. So whatever your weapons range is, it will simply go that far. And let's add this vector plus vector, and this guy should go to this ending point. Okay, and then I will simply go. I think I have made a little bit mistake. Okay, go to the event graph. After getting this interactor and picking up after the picking up the function, I need to get this interactor and let me cast to third person character in here, and I will simply promote this one to variable and call it a player reference. Hit compile, and in the starting and end point, rather than doing this thing, I will delete it and I will get the player reference. The reason why I did it is because this function, if you are using an assault rifle, so whenever you just hold down your shoot button, this function would call out every time, and every time it will shoot. So if you cast it every single time, it is too expensive and too memory consuming. So you advisable to don't cast every single time, every single frame, because then you might face the lag. This is why I simply cast it in the interact function, and then I will simply use this variable because it already casted, so everything saved in this variable, and the start point will go to this end point. Okay, hit compile, save. In here let's debug type to duration so that I can see. I will minimize it, and let's create in the assault rifle AK-47. My gun range should be 10,000 for the AK-40, this is just for testing purpose. So let's see if it is working or not. So if I grab this and if I hit Alt, as you can see, a trace is happening. Don't worry, it will not seen in your game. I will simply debugging it. So okay, a trace is happening. Okay, so let's move further. So in the master weapon, so after doing a trace, what I need to do, first I need to break out the hit results. And then what I need to do, I need some gunshot effects. So let me minimize it and let me go to my weapon folder. I will create a new folder called effects, in which I have the audio and the gunshot effects and everything. So I will create a new folder in the effect, call it SFX. So let me import some gun audio. So as you can see, I have 3 gun audio, and these all are .wav file. If you don't have the .wav file, then it won't gonna work because the encoder won't gonna do. So this, all the gunshots are something similar to this. Okay, so this one is for shotgun, the assault rifle, and the single weapon pistol. So we have this. What else we need? Well, we will do whatever else we need. So let's create a new function. I will call it gun effects. So whatever the effect your gun can do, it will simply go to here. I don't need any of this function. So let's call out this function. And first things first, I need an input of a boolean type of does it hit or not. So does hit, because if don't hit, then what will, and this would go to this return value or this return value, both are the same. Okay, so this one is do. Second one is the impact point. So impact point, so whatever the hit point is, it will go to your impact point, and this would this guy, the impact point. Third one is where your trace is ending for the gun, right? So this would be your trace end. Now consider like this. If your gun's bullet is not shooting anything, it is simply shooting it to the sky, so it is not blocking any object, then the trace end would be this guy. But if it's blocking, then this would be this impact guy. So it will based on your this results. Oh, pardon. So I will simply grab a node from this return value and I will select. So yes, if it's true, then I need this impact point. If it false, then I need this trace end, and this return value go to this trace end. Simple. Hit compile and save. So this gun effects function should call out, and we haven't done anything yet. So let's code this gun effects function. So for that, first things first, let's play a sound. So play a sound 2D, and let's promote it to a variable, because for different guns the different variable has. So shoot sound. Okay. Then what I need to play a animation montage. Okay, so I will grab this player reference and I need a shooting montage. So I will simply play an animation montage of the shooting part. And the shooting part, for that I need an animation montage. So I will simply go in my animations in the combat mode, and I need a fire rifle montage. So I will simply click on this and create an animation montage. Obviously I need to shoot even if I was walking, so I will simply animate the upper part, right? So I simply close this, and also I will simply promote this guy to a variable, call it fire animation. So whatever the fire animation montage, it will play in here. Then what I want to do, so I want to spawn a emitter. Let's first check it out if it's working. So for the shoot sound, this one, and for the animation montage, this fire. So let's see if it's working for this AK-47. Okay, so for the single shot it is working. Then what I need to do, so I need to create a muzzle flash. So in the starter content, in the particles, there is a explosion particle. I will simply copy this, and in my blueprints, weapons, effects, let me just paste it here. The explosion, I will call it a muzzle flash. So I need to spawn a muzzle. So for that I don't need any of these particles, so I will delete everything. Fireball I don't need it, sparks I don't need it, and smoke I don't need it. Okay, I need this guy, firelight, and the lifetime is, let's say 0.1, 0.2, it's okay. So in the master weapon I need to spawn emitter attached. So spawn emitter attached, and the emitter should be this muzzle flash. So it should be attached to where the muzzle is. If you want to promote this to a variable, you can do that. So where I want to attach, I want to attach to my in-hand muzzle. So that I need a player, then I need a in-hand, a weapon component. From that weapon component I need a in-hand weapon, so whatever in-hand. Then from the in-hand weapon I need the weapon static mesh. So weapon mesh, get the weapon mesh, this one, and from that I will simply get the socket location. Okay, get a socket location, and this return value, we have the weapon mesh, right? So I want to attach my emitter to this weapon mesh. For the socket location I need to provide a socket, so let's provide a socket. So in the weapon, in the models, in my this gun, I need to provide a new socket. I will call it a muzzle. A muzzle would go to here in the muzzle. Is it okay? Okay. So from this thing, the muzzle flash should appear. So the socket name should be muzzle. You don't need to provide this location because we are already have attached it, and location type should be snap to target including scale. Okay. Now what I need to do something called line shooting part. Let's see if weapon working or not. So as you can see, a muzzle flash is happening. It's a bit scaled, so I will simply set the scale to 0.2. Let's say okay, it is working. The attach point name should be muzzle. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, some particle effects at the start of this gun. Okay, now what I need some trace. So for the trace, what I will do, I will simply go to the weapon effects, and let's create a new blueprint class called actor, and I will call it a projectile. Projectile trace. So the little trace effect. So let me add a new component of static mesh, and I will call it a projectile. Let me call simply a trace, and let me add a cylinder, shape cylinder or whatever. This would too much. 0.02. Okay, 0.02 is fine. Is it fine? Okay, let me simply, okay, so this is my weapon, and for that I need a new material so that I can see. So emission projectile, let me open that up. So what we are doing that ray tracing. So I need a color, so I will search for vector parameter and I will set it to color. I will simply multiply this with some value, so scalar parameter. I call this emission, and I will grab this and attach it to this emissive color. Color would be the yellow something. Yellow is fine, somewhat this, and let's set this emission to how much? 15. 15 would work fine, or you can do is simply set it to 1, hit apply, and what I will do, I will close this and I will create a material instance from this, and I will simply go and set this emission. So as you can see, it is glowing. 10 would be fine. So as you can see, this glowing effect. So I need that trace in here. Emission projectile instance, right? I will simply rotate it minus 90 degree, right? Minus 90 degree. Location is fine, everything is fine. Scale is not fine. 3, nope. 0.02, and scale towards X is 1, nope. 0.02. Scale towards Z is 1. Is it correct? 0.5. Hit compile answer, and I need a new projectile movement. So add a component called projectile movement. The gravity, I don't need any gravity, but I need some initial speed. Let's go with this 6000. Let's see if it's working or not, and make sure this static mesh trace should be no collision, because I don't want this guy to collide. Okay, so go back to the fire weapon, master weapon. So whenever I need to spawn an actor from the class. The actor should be the projectile trace. So search for a projectile trace, this actor trace we have made, and if you remembered, we have made this get socket location. From that I will find a locate location. For that I need a target. So target would be this guy, this impact point. So I will simply search for the impact point, or nope, not impact point, it would be a trace end. It would be a trace end. A trace end. Trace end is the second parameter in this function. The return value, so I will simply go in the transform and I will simply make a transform. Location is this one, the return value of this guy, this, and the rotation is this one. scale is 111. Okay, so everything is done. Only thing is do, so whenever this actor is spawned, after some delay, let's say 0.5 seconds, I want to destroy this actor because otherwise it will not work fine. Let's check out. Okay, it is not working as it should, or it is working but the projectile is not having the different. Okay, this one is a projectile trace, and we have some velocity in the x-axis, this one. Okay, a 6,000 and everything is fine. Let's see printing a string, so if it's spawning or not. So yeah, it is spawning. Okay, so the problem was in that cylinder. So as you can see in my effects, the projectile trace, I have just deleted that cylinder and I have added a new cylinder. I will just simply add component and cylinder. So this one, because that mesh was not good. So this is my engine cylinder. You can find this in the engine sources, and I have set it all the location and scale. Let me show you what this will do. So as you can see, that little trace effect, this is what a cylinder do. Okay, so now what, we need a recoiling so that our gun is recoil and go upwards. So for that, let's make a recoil. So I will simply grab my player reference and I will add pitch, add controller pitch. Pitch is y-axis, right? Okay, this one is, as you can see in my mouse events, if you go to the event graph, where was my mouse? Mouse event, add controller EO, which means left or right, and add controller look up, which means pitch. So if I go upwards, the pitch is minus. So I want a gun recoil to be minus, but different gun have different. So I will simply add a new variable called gun recoil. Let's say a recoil. This would be type of a float. So I will simply get this and let's multiply with a -1. Some float multiply by float, and this will go to here, -1. So this is our recoil. So I will simply minimize and let's our recoil to our gun, assault rifle. Okay, so as you can see, a new variable is added, recoil. So 0.2, just try an error, so let's try it. 0.2. so as you can see, every time I shoot, the gun is somehow moving upward. So this is recoiling. So you can set recoil for different guns. Okay, this is it, and I don't think I need anything, so I will simply return. Okay, so we have completed our gun effects. Now what? Now as we shoot our gun, we have to remove the ammo from that. So for that I will create a function called remove ammo from gun. So we have our current ammo. If you grab this weapon structure and break it out, we have my current ammo, right? So what I want to do, I will simply want a -1 I don't need this unconnected pin, so I will simply hide it. And I will set this guy. So set members in the weapon structure. The members I want to set is the current ammo. So the current ammo would be -1 of it. I will simply hit compile and save and simply return it. So let's call out that function remove ammo. So after doing the gun effects, I want to remove the ammo. Then what I want to do, I want to add damage to hit object. So whatever the object this guy hits, I want to add the damage to it. So let's call out that. And for this we need an actor. So I will simply add a hit object, and this hit object is an actor. So for that, what I need a actor type of reference, actor object reference, this one, right? And I also need the hit events. So this would be type of a hit results, right? So the hit object would go to this guy, the breaking hit actor, and hit would be go to the in here out hit. Okay, so let's just call out that function. So for that, minimize this and let's make a new blueprint interface called take damage. So whatever the damageable object, it can take damage. So for that, let's make a new function called do damage. For the do damage, we need one input called damage. This would be a float of what type of damage it did, and second one is hit result, because if you need the results, then what do? So let's just call out all the hit results. So if you need a bone or anything else, you can simply just drag a node from that. Okay, we don't need this guy and this one. Okay, so let's call out this function. So first, on the hitting object, I want to check it does implement any interface or not. The interface is the take damage. I hit branch. So yes, my object whichever I hit, it has the damage, take damage interface. If it's true, then I want to do damage message. So that object will do the damage. That object will take the damage. The damage would be this weapon structure damage. So let me break out. Okay. Weapon damage, this. Let me hide the and the hit results are simply this guy. And I will simply return it. If you don't return, that's all good. Okay, we have to provide the target is this guy, hit object, hit compound. So I think we have done all the things. The only thing we have left is, as you can see, I am facing towards this direction and I set the shooting part is not actually setting correctly. So what I need to do, go to close this all because we don't need this. Go to the third person character in the weapon graph. So as you can see, we have created this. So what I need to do, let's some room here and let's make a new macro called yaw and orient. I need two inputs. Now first one is a yaw and second one is a orient. The reason I am doing this is because I need to face towards my gun's direction. So for the yaw, I will simply set yaw, set use controller rotation yaw, this one, to true. Let's make this guy up in. So yaw to true. For the orient, I will simply grab this character movement component and search for orient. So set orient rotation movement and set to this guy, whatever this value is. I hit compile, save and close. Okay, so go in the weapon graph and get this macro. Yes. So if I want to use okay, and I want to return this as an out. Okay. So if I want to use when I shoot, I want to use the when I don't shoot, I don't want to use the I want to use the orient rotation. Okay, so now as you can see, if I face toward this direction, if I shoot, the character is facing towards that and then after it's shooting. So as you can see, it is working. So this is O for it now. Same thing we have done. You can add the range and the weapon shooting part to all of the guns for different one. So this is O for it now. In the next video, we will do the automatic shooting part. So thank you so much guys for watching and bye bye.